and then you make a big stop against Baylor. Baylor! Oh!
Oh shit, they actually did it! They actually fucking did it! So if I'm a Conference fan, that franchise guy's gonna be so fucking happy about that. Oh my goodness! Yeah! They actually did it, bro. I'm gonna be so happy, bro. He was a nine!
I called it! I called it!
No, we all called
it!
it. Didn't we?
No, hold on, Warren. I know I'm supposed to fucking hate it. I don't fucking hate it. I'm just gonna keep it real. I pity it. Okay?
Oh, God. What?
Oh my god, bro. What the fuck?
Detroit on the clock.
Get the... Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, sir. Detroit is on the clock. Wow. And their pick is in as well.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
So, Chris, Dallas in a last-minute exchange decided to trade their pick off to the Detroit
What the
Lions.
fuck are you doing, Jerry? And could not lead the defense! You got me jumping! It'd be called cream pie smash.
Oh, God, dude. I knew it.
So, West Virginia played about as good as my fucking hairline is right now. And you probably see my hairline, Bailey. It is bad. Okay?
God!
For the love of football.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Mafia podcast. It is your boy, TJ Riddell, the host of the Pigskin Mafia podcast. And today, we're talking about week 5 of UFL, the recap of week 4, which there's only one undefeated team left, and that's who I said was a fraud, the Orlando Storm. But they have a big test this week against the St. Louis Battlehawks, and this is going to be a great one, folks. In my opinion, this one's going to be a slobber knocker. Now that St. Louis, they just got a quarterback in their hands in Luis Perez. That's going to be an interesting topic to talk about. Also, DTR goes to the Birmingham Stallions. AJ McCarron has had enough of the mediocrity from Matt Corral, and he said, you know what, we're going to ship Matt Corral off elsewhere. As Matt Corral now, he's going to be traded, or he was traded by the Birmingham Stallions, as the Birmingham Stallions received DTR, Datorian Robinson. I thought this was a good move, actually, because Matt Corral kind of flatlined, and then the Renegades get Corey Stewart for Luis Perez. There was quite a few moves in the UFL lately. As I'm doom scrolling here. Oh yeah, here we go. So Jason Beam, who was a starting quarterback for Kansas at one point, was the starting quarterback for the Louisville Kings, is now being traded to the DC Defenders. And who does Louisville get? Mike Diliello. I don't know who the fuck that is, but so the Orlando Storm, they get Matt Corral in this trade with Birmingham. Incredible sequence. Very interesting indeed. We'll see how it plays out. And Luis Perez to the Battlehawks might be a big factor for me, in my honest opinion. For the Battlehawks, I mean, that's a big move if you really take a gander at it, because we've known Luis Perez as like the spring ball quarterback that everybody loves to watch, and he got his job taken away. Rick Neuheisel thought that Austin Reed was the better quarterback, and it's showing so far. Even though that the Renegades did lose to the Columbus Aviators, which was bound to happen at some point this season, that the Renegades were going to drop one, but we'll get into that here in a minute. But I got to say this right now, man. Like, it's so good to be back on here. I had a tremendous weekend. Got to spend time with family. Got to spend time just doing my own thing with my family, you know. And I got a chance to take a very special person of mine in my life to their very first Texas Longhorn experience, you know. But I had a mission there. There's a reason why I had to be there. It was to meet this man, the head coach of the University of Texas himself, Steve Sarkisian. Here we go. Here's a dumbass question. As soon as I bring up the most important thing in my life right now, which is a picture with Steve Sarkisian. I had no idea the message was retracted anyway, so whatever. But let me tell y'all something about good old Sarkisian, you know. Let me tell you something. That dude is awesome. I loved listening to this guy talk in his pressers, you know, and I was inspired. I was like, I have to meet this guy at some point. So, I'm sorry. We're going to have to interrupt this. If the United Football League odds of team in Florida, they can't do it in Tampa or Miami, but is there a city big enough in Southwest Florida, that's big enough to support a team? That's a good question, actually. Goddamn. Good question, Anthony Manzano. Holy shit. I wouldn't say anything South Florida, though. Maybe. That's a good fucking question. I would say Pensacola, even though it's not South Florida or Southwest Florida. It's still Florida. More like Floribama, but still. Pensacola's a good spot for the United Football League. You know, and that's another thing, too. This league is not meant to be a competitor for the NFL. It's supposed to be an NFL feeder. So why do we have teams in Dallas or Houston where there's little to no fan bases, you know? That's kind of my biggest gripe about the United Football League. Whereas there's big fan bases in St. Louis and D.C., I get that. But how come Houston and Dallas? You know, and I'm a big Dallas Renegades fan right now. I happen to have a shirt of the Dallas Renegades. But why not Waco? Why not El Paso? Why not Odessa, Midland? Austin, San Antonio. Like, why did we get rid of the San Antonio squad? They had a great fan base. It was just fucking hot in that stadium. Or why not try Louisiana with Shreveport, Baton Rouge? You know, like, there's so many spots available, but you got to go for the big market ones because it brings revenue to the UFL. I get it, but you're not getting the support from that area. So I'm not sure where exactly, Anthony, in Southwest Florida. God. Because all you got down there is Miami or Tampa, in my eyes. maybe Jacksonville. But even then, I'm like, I don't know, because you're competing with the NFL in that regard. And I don't think there's like fans of Jacksonville Jaguars that would go watch a team in Jacksonville. Orlando's good for Florida, in my opinion. I think Orlando's a good spot. And especially with them being good right now, they're 4-0. They are the only undefeated team in the league. And not only that, their ticket prices dropped to 40% off. Their food is at $4. Their beer is at $4. So why wouldn't you want to go to Orlando? Orlando loves their squads. And maybe that's why Jacksonville might be considering the Orlando move after all. But back to the topic at hand here. Sark. What a guy, what a gentleman. I shook his hand. It was fan day for the University of Texas because their O-line was kind of banged up, and we didn't get to see a spring game, but we did see some practice. And let me tell you, holy shit, I'm excited for this season for the University of Texas. It's going to be a fun one. I love the fact that that we're going to see some really good intensity. And we saw Will Muschamp just get after somebody's ass. That's one guy that I want to see at least before I die. I want to see Will Muschamp. I want to get to meet him. I want to feel his intensity. I love watching that guy just be intense, you know. And my family can detest this when I was up there, you know, and I was jittery, I was fucking excited, I couldn't speak. But we get to DKR, we start seeing players, we start seeing coaches, and I'm over there and I look at the end zone towards the Longhorn. There he is, right over there. Will motherfucking Muschamp. Man, I wish I would have been able to shake his hand and said what's up to him. But I got to meet DeMarvion Overshone. He was at the game. I asked Demo, is Anthony Hill going to be a Dallas Cowboy? He goes, I don't know, bro. We'll see. And then I see Michael Taff. I didn't get to fully meet him, but he was there. I got to sign. Everybody loves Mookie, man. Shout out to Mookie if he's watching. But, yeah, Mookie being there was awesome. He was cheering on his defensive teammates at the practice, and it was kind of like a small little scrimmage. It was fun to watch, you know. But we get to the point where we're on the field. It's me and my little cousin. She's about 8 years old. Cute little sweetheart. But let me tell you, I was nervous. For the first time in my life, I got to step on Darrell K. Royal, Joe Jamel Field, Texas Memorial Stadium, DKR. I was emotional when I stepped on that field. And I was extremely grateful that I got to step on that field. I've always wanted to wear the Longhorn on my head, on my helmet. I've always wanted to wear the burnt orange. It was a dream come true to be on that field, but what made it even better was getting to meet Steve Sarkisian. And if you notice what my hat says over there, my hat says run the damn ball. He looked up at it, he goes, I freaking love the hat. And I was like, thank you, coach. Shook his hand afterwards. I had the open opportunity to ask him to join the podcast for one simple interview. But here's the problem. I botched it. I completely botched the fucking opportunity of a lifetime to get the University of Texas head coach on the Pigskin Mafia podcast. Because everybody in the line was moving so quick and the pictures were being taken. It was 2 pictures. This one I just picked out because it looks good. Man, I fucking blew it, man. I was so fucking nervous. I was like, never mind. I'll just go. So that was a fun little moment right there. Getting to meet the University of Texas head coach right there. I'll be cheering on Sark for the rest of the season as usual. And hook 'em horns, baby. It was fun to sit there and get to shake his hand. Like, I'm still shaking just thinking about it right now. Just getting a chance to shake his hand and feel the presence of the University of Texas head coach. Like, that's like a step below meeting the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys if he was Tom Landry or Jimmy Johnson. But for Sark, he's got to win a national championship this season. I feel like we have a great team. The spring practice was great. I feel like that this team has the full capability to run the table in the SEC and run the playoff. And that's not me being a fan. That's just me being real about it, you know. And I'll have to do some more research on a lot of these teams that are doing spring games throughout the SEC, Big Ten, Big 12, and the ACC. Even though the ACC is dying within, for whatever reason, it's dying. It's really not that good of a conference anyway. But anywho, let's get into the topic at hand. Now, there was an upset this weekend in the UFL, whereas Louisville got their first win. And there's no more winless teams, by the way. Louisville got their first win against Houston. They went into overtime, and finally Louisville gets their win. They have, and I've said it all year, watch out for Louisville. They are a very competitive football team. And look what happened. They beat the Houston Gamblers, who I think is the worst team in the UFL, by the way. But both teams played extremely hard. But Louisville ended up winning 24-22 in Houston. What a game that was. Then we get to Friday. Dallas took on Columbus. I wasn't completely sold with this game for Dallas. I felt like there was too many cracks the last game. And I'm not a fan of back-to-back games like that. But they went to their first road game against Columbus, and they fell flat on their face. I got to tell you that right now. And Columbus took advantage of it. And what a win. What a first win for Columbus. And what a win for Ted Ginn Jr. As the as the Dallas Renegades lose 28-14, they got the Louisville Kings this week. Will this be a bounce back game for them, or will they falter just like they did against Columbus? Then we get to the biggest rivalry in spring football. St. Louis Battlehawks travel to D.C. to take on the D.C. Defenders in Washington, D.C. Audi Field. You already know the Bear Snakes are out, and D.C. is locked and loaded. And let me just tell y'all this. The DC Defenders knock off the St. Louis Battlehawks 28-22. What a game that was. I think St. Louis was a quarterback away from beating the DC Defenders, which they got Luis Perez, so we'll see what happens with St. Louis. They dropped to 2-2. DC, probably the hottest team right now in UFL. Watch out. I'm telling you, they are probably the best overall team in the UFL, despite that first game. Then we get to the last game, which Birmingham. Holy shit, man. We got to take a deep dive on this one. Orlando takes on Birmingham in Birmingham's first game of the season in Birmingham, Alabama, in Protective Stadium, home of the UAB Blazers. I'm shocked, honestly. Orlando wins 16-0. I mean, the score really doesn't indicate how this game goes. It was a bad football game for Birmingham. I thought Birmingham had a shot to win this game because I wasn't completely sold on Orlando this season. But holy shit, they just looked bad. And AJ McCarron had every right to say what he said, and he was not kidding either. Everything is on the table. Trades are open. Quarterbacks even. And he traded his starting quarterback for DTR. Let me tell you, oh my God. AJ is getting his feet wet and he ain't fucking around. I love it. Shout out to AJ McCarron. Hopefully we can get him on the show after the season maybe. But, dude, I am still not completely sold on Orlando. I love Anthony Beck. I think he's a great coach. I'm just not sold on the play or the execution of the Orlando Storm, which we'll take a deep dive on that here in a minute because we got week 5 coming up right now. And, man, what a must-win situation for all of these teams here. So Friday in Protective Stadium, 8 p.m. Central Time, which I'll go ahead and put it up here. So right now we're looking at the teams, or we're basically looking at the games for week 5. So the DC Defenders will travel to Birmingham, Alabama to take on the Birmingham Stallions in Protective Stadium. It'll be live on Fox or Fox 1 at 7 p.m. Central Time on Friday, which I could probably do a live stream on Friday. Let's be real. I gotta say this. This is bad timing for Birmingham. This is bad timing for AJ, in my opinion. I like DTR coming in for Birmingham, but this is against DC. I think DC is the best overall team in the UFL right now. I'm gonna say go ahead and give me the Defenders in this one. I don't know, man. Birmingham overall does not look good right now, and I'm gonna give the Defenders a pretty good cushion right here. I'm gonna say 10 points for this game. I like Birmingham. I like AJ. I like Siski. But this is a game this is a must win, and it couldn't have been worse timing for Birmingham. So give me the DC Defenders by 10. Then we move to Saturday. Our motherfucking game of the week, which I'll go ahead and pull it up right here, right now. The game of the week The 2-2 St. Louis Battlehawks, who is now led by Luis Perez, travels to Inter and Co Stadium in Orlando, Florida, to take on the Orlando Storm. Live on ESPN. It will be live at 6 p.m. Central Time, Saturday, April 25th. Whew, what a game this is going to be. I'm excited for it. You should be excited for it. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I think St. Louis is a lot better team than what the 2-2 put up. The 2-2 record, I mean. And I think Orlando is fugazi still. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's going to be a great game. But I don't think that Orlando's secondary can handle that St. Louis receiving core. And I think St. Louis's defense is a lot better than what people think. I'm going to go with the Battlehawks on this one. It's going to be a close score. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game. Probably a couple of Hakeem Butler touchdowns. But I'm going to go with the St. Louis Battlehawks. We're going to say by 6. We're going to say by 6. And that is the game of the week right there. Battlehawks Storm live on ESPN Saturday night, 6 p.m. Central Time. We might even watch it. I don't know yet. We got the draft special coming up too, so we'll see. We shall see. All right. Next game we're going to talk about is the Columbus Aviators taking on the Houston Gamblers at Shell Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Live on ABC. This will be on Sunday at 11 a.m. I said it before. Houston is probably the worst team in this league, but Columbus is the most inconsistent team from what I've seen. But having that win against Dallas might have just sparked something in Ted Ginn Jr.'s team. I don't know what's going to happen with the Gamblers in this game, but I do know this. They're going to lose to the Aviators. Give me the Aviators by, I'm going to say 8 points. I think they're going to lose by 8 points. And then last but not least, the final game, the Louisville Kings, live Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time, live on ABC. Probably going to see Joe Tessitore call this game. Yeah, you guys heard that. The Louisville Kings, 1-3. They just got their first win over the Houston Gamblers, taking on another Texas team that just took their first L of the season, the Dallas Renegades. How will Rick Neuheisel and the Renegades respond? And can the Kings' momentum keep going in Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas? Look, I'm going to say this right now. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. I think it's going to go back and forth. Louisville is a gritty team. I think they are very, very tough to beat. And for Dallas, we've been seeing cracks over the last couple weeks, especially against the Aviators. So this is going to be a very interesting game to me. Whether or not Dallas responds, or will Louisville keep their momentum? Here's my answer. I think it's going to be coming down to a game-winning field goal type of situation. And I think that the Dallas Renegades get this win, but barely win this game. I think they're going to win by 3 points here. And that's what I got for the UFL for this week. Next week, we will be back on live Thursday. Let's see the calendar. So we'll be back on live next Thursday, April 30th as well for UFL topics. But, man, what a fucking special season this has been. Back and forth, back and forth. I mean, this has been incredible. But I definitely got to talk about this because this is happening Thursday. Live on the Pigskin Mafia podcast. We have the NFL Draft. Is at our 4-year anniversary today for posting it. I'm looking forward to this draft, even though it's not the most appealing draft. I'm mostly intrigued to see what happens in this draft because we're already seeing moves already in the first round. So it looks like the Giants took a trade off of the Bengals as the Bengals get Dexter Lawrence. Coach JB thinks that Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be the next one up, which is, I think, going to happen at some point. I think the Giants are going to be they're going to be aggressive in this draft, just like a lot of teams in this draft. I think this is going to be a draft where they're going to be aggressive for mediocre players. So here's your first round order as of today. Number 1, you got the Vegas Raiders. 2, the New York Jets. 3, the Arizona Cardinals. 4, the Tennessee Titans. 5, the New York Giants. That's one of 2 picks. 6, the Cleveland Browns. 7, the Washington Commanders, which they should be called the Redskins. 8, the New Orleans Saints. 9, the Kansas City Chiefs, which is probably a great spot for the Chiefs. 10, the New York Giants, as they traded Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals. 11, Miami. 12, Dallas. 13, Los Angeles, as they traded a spot from the Falcons. 14, Baltimore. 15, Tampa Bay. 16, the Jets again, as they traded Sauce Gardner to get to this point. The Detroit Lions are 17. Minnesota's 18. Carolina's 19. Dallas is 20. Pittsburgh's 21. Los Angeles is 22. Philadelphia is 23. Cleveland is 24 with a trade from Jacksonville. Chicago's 25. Buffalo's 26. San Francisco's 27. Houston is 28. Kansas City is 29 from a trade from the Rams with Trent McDuffie. And 30 is Miami from the Broncos. 31 is New England. 32 is Seattle. And that's all I have. And let me just say this. I'm intrigued to see what team is I'm intrigued to see what happens with the Raiders. Are they going to trade, or are they actually going to pick? Are they going to pick up Fernando Mendoza, or are they going to pick up Ty Simpson? A lot of people are saying they're going to pick up Fernando Mendoza. A lot of people are saying they're going to get Ty Simpson. We don't know yet. But to me, in all actuality, the number 1 pick's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Right. I just don't see how you could trust any quarterback in this draft class. Or this is a lineman or defensive lineman draft, I think. You got a lot of solid edge rushers. You got a lot of solid tackles and guards. But I just don't see how this draft is going to be something spectacular. I don't know. I don't think that this is going to be a draft class that everybody's going to be going, ooh, I really don't. I really do not. And for the draft special, I think what I'm going to do is somehow I'm going to link the ESPN draft order. Not the show, but just somehow through a scroll, I'm going to link the draft as a media and put it on there. And we'll have the draft cast on for it. So I'm just kind of gathering my idea. I think that Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number 1 pick. I genuinely think that. It's really not that hard for this draft. I would, if I was the Raiders and I was smart, I would just trade my first round pick. I'd trade that first pick for somebody more veteran, or not more veteran because Kirk Cousins is there. I would just trade my first round pick for somebody else. You know, I'm not really sold on Fernando. I'm not really sold on Ty. I'm not sold on any of these guys in the draft. I'm not. There's a few good players in this draft that I think will be spectacular in the NFL. But that's it. But I'm excited about the draft special. It's going to be a shorter draft special. Finally! God, yes, finally. But I'm still going to be here for fucking 3+ hours, sitting here watching the draft and watching the draft cast. And we'll have the draft cast on the podcast as well. So that's going to be entertaining. I hope that you guys will love this year's draft special, which the last couple of draft specials haven't really gone our way. Last time it was visual. The other time we had our shit cut off 3 separate times somehow. And our audio died, basically. So I'm going to try my best to make this draft special a really good draft special. But hopefully everybody will enjoy the show, and will get to hear me rant if the Cowboys fuck up again or do something stupid again, because they're stupid. They're fucking stupid. And there might be a reveal after the draft special. There might be a special reveal that I might do. I don't know. Might have to do something with the show, tweaking it up a little bit, maybe. I'll let y'all decide what y'all think it is that we're going to tweak. But I'm excited for this show. I'm ready for the draft special. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for it, guys. But this has been a great show. It's only been 40 minutes. Holy shit. Didn't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. Just a very short, peaceful night. Nothing to rant about. Nothing to be all gun-ho pissed off about, which is great. But I got to meet Sark. That was a very special moment in my life. For those that don't know already, I got to meet Sark. Got to meet the University of Texas head coach. Spectacular moment. I could not stop shaking. I still can't stop shaking. Look at that. Look at that. I still can't stop shaking. That was so fun. And to be honest, I might be taller than I let on. I might be taller. What is Sark, like 6'1", 6'2"? I think I might be 5'10", 5'11", actually. I don't know. Kind of looks like it. Look, Sark's a tall guy, right? So we think. Yeah, I think he's tall. 6'1", 6'2". I think I'm 5'10", 5'11". But, yeah, I think I'm taller than I let on. I keep telling myself I'm 5'8", because damn doctors keep putting 5'8". But I don't believe in doctors. I believe in what the fucking picture shows. And it shows I'm 5'11". Okay? I am 5'11". Not 5'8". Look at that! Sark's 6'1", and I'm 5'8". Or 5'11". God damn it. I fucked that up. I'm still I hardly ever get starstruck. I normally talk to people pretty cool. You know, like we had down here, he was a Aggie punter. He was also a Houston, Texas punter and a Raiders punter. But I didn't get starstruck by him because I've seen him on TV and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? This guy got me starstruck. Why? Because, for one, he's the head coach of the University of Texas. For two, he has been under Pete Carroll and Nick fucking Saban, who my grandmother calls Satan. But, yeah, that's a big fucking deal right there. To be under Pete Carroll and Nick Saban in the college football world. You can't name me you can't name me other guys besides Lane Kiffin who has done that. Like, seriously. You got two of the greatest head coaches of all time in college sports. And you were led by both of them. And then you become the head coach of one of the most prominent universities in college football. The University of Texas. And I got to meet him. So, Sark, thank you for the compliment on my Run the Damn Ball hat. It was like I said, it was an honor to meet him. I'm still shook about it because I am like, holy shit, I met Sark. But next time I'll be more talkative and I'll be more personable. Not like, oh my God, it's Sark. No, I'll be cool about this next time. I won't be a weirdo fuck next time. I don't get starstruck like that anymore, but I did. I did this weekend. It was awesome though because my little cousin got to see me being excited about something. It was awesome to see my sister see me excited about something and my aunt to see me excited about what she already knows I love, which is football. Especially University of Texas football. But it was awesome. Just like this show tonight, it was awesome. Under an hour, 45 minutes long. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a great show. Tune in to the draft special this Thursday. Less than 48 hours. We will be live 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We will be wearing something fancy, I think. That's what I'm going to go for this year. We're going to wear something fancy. We're going to have snacks on the side. We're going to have booze on the side. I might get fucked up at the end of the night and just fucking start sputtering. I don't know. I am excited for this draft special because it's going to be a long fucking boring night, and it's going to be me commentating, and we're going to get our reactions on if it's a good fit or not. But, guys, I got to get going. Tomorrow, I got a busy day. But Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 2026 NFL Draft Special. Tune in live on YouTube. I was about to say Facebook, but YouTube. Tune in live to the Pigskin Mafia podcast. YouTube. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Pigskin Mafia podcast presents NFL Draft Special 2026. Thank you guys for watching. It's been real. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night. Bang. Toodaloo. Motherfuckers. I'm out this bitch.